Hey, everybody. Welcome to a very special edition of Bevo's Pantry. So, this is crazy, right? Check out my shirt, dude. I wore it every year. It's old, I know, but we're still back to back champs. And it's really not July 4th related, but it has a flag on it. And I'm American. I'm an American veteran. Proud of our military out there keeping us safe, keeping us able to drink the red, white, and blue. Get it? See? Red, white, and blue. Why is that going to get? I was, thinking I want to be patriotic, so I got some beers to match the pride we should all have for this 250th birthday of our nation. 250 years. Well, it's changed. We have 13 when we first did it, right? But we have 50 of these things now. Talk about stars and colonies, whatever. We're all living to protect this son of a bitch right here, American flag. We are in the best country on the planet. You can't deny that, no matter what you say. I just did a video a minute ago. I may post a video or not, but it's a video about our difference of opinions as people, right? But we have to just be there, stay towards the center if you can of your party, man. Vote your heart, but listen to your neighbor's opinion. Just try to focus on their opinion and see where you can meet in a higher middle ground somewhere. So I want to talk about the history of beer drinking for 250 years. Now, when I was in St. Louis, we used to go to the brewery and they had a video they'd watch, they show you, and there are beer recipes dating back like 10,000 years, right? Sorry, churchgoers, but it's been around before the, I guess before Christ, right? They were drinking beer in the caves or whatever the hell you want to say. But so the the interesting thing is that in 250 years we've come so far. And if you think back about the first beer you drank, what was with the brand? Well, I remember that beer. Like for me, it was Pabst Blue Ribbon. I was about 7 years old. That was my dad's kind of choice, and he moved to Schlitz Malt Liquor, which you can kind of still find maybe some places, but it might be kind of hard. But it takes you back, right? Like I'm 64. Go back to the 70s or the 60s rather. And I didn't drink the Pabst Blue Ribbon. I did have some sips of my dad's small liquor. I was about 12, 13, and just couldn't stand it. Like, oh, God, that's pretty strong, right? Yeah. But anyway, but did you know that? Well, first of all, hang on. What am I doing here? I'm not even have one open yet. Well, I'm really far behind the ball here. It's Budweiser. Did you know that George Bush? No, Dad Bush. I said Bush. No, I meant Washington. George Washington had a beer, and is on the internet. You can find the recipe, and it's been recreated. I want to say someone in New York or Boston, one of the two, recreated his beer. I didn't read about what because everybody's opinions are different about the quality, was it taste, the roof, the mouthfeel, blah 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 blah. But it's just interesting that our first president of the United States he brewed his own beer. That's pretty kind of cool. That's what I call starting the country on the right foot. What do you say, so hun? The right the right foot. Let's go. I'm drinking beer. Probably had a lot of bullshit to deal with. Probably the wife was a whatever. So like I'll be in the basement, hun. Yeah, I'll be in making my beer. Leave me alone. So and then Paul Revere, he plotted the revolt at a tavern, and led to the Boston Tea Party, which I bet you didn't know that taverns were a thing back then. Probably were the meeting place. And did you know, just by chance, that there is the St. Louis Budweiser Brewery has an American Legion post? I believe it's post 199 that meets there once a month. Used to. I don't know if they kicked him out when InBev took him over. Probably the case. So let's see. This little tidbit. Let's see. The colonists all brewed beer at the homes and refused to drink English shit like today. So they didn't want you to talk about total separation. Not only didn't want to be part of England anymore, they want to drink their English beer, which I've had English beer, and I will say I don't disagree with them. But I'm not saying English beer is horrible. I'm saying it's all about what you're raised up on. If you're like me, you were raised up. I drank Coors Light. I drank Budweiser. Obviously, starting off with Budweiser, and then Bud Light, and then Miller Light. And you go overseas, you drink their beer. It's totally different. And the recipes are different, but you're born there. It's like that's what you know. So that's what you drink, right? You go to Australia, you go to New Zealand, you're drinking some pretty heavy beer, but that's what they grew up on. That's what they like. So let's see. And here's an interesting tidbit. General Washington ordered that soldiers would have 2 pints of spruce beer every day. How kick ass is that? What a retention plan. Hey, everybody, you're going to have at least 2 pints of beer a day on me. We're going to make sure you have that. All right, we're going to take care of it. Imagine being an MRE now, guys, in the bunker somewhere. You're having your lunchbox. You open up your lunchbox is considerably bigger now. Your MRE's open up. It's got 2 pints of beer in it, plus your that potted meat. Oh, but you got beer. Hey, that's pretty kind of cool. Try imagine that doing that these days. Oh my God, people freak out. Excuse me. This isn't my hazelwood bark chestnut ale beer with ropes of twig shit in it. Oh, I don't. I prefer IPA beer, Captain. Jesus, can you imagine that shit now? You know, soldiers wearing man buns and white sunglasses, and they get their beer, their 2 pints of beer, their spruce beer. I didn't like this. Oh my God. All right. Okay. Let's see. Here are some facts about beer in America. I should have pre-read this a little bit more this morning, but I didn't. Last year, this is going to blow your mind. Just ask you a question. What country do you think drinks the most beer? Think about that for a second. Last year, we as Americans, we drank 28 gallons each. 28 gallons apiece. I think that's very deliverable. I mean, a gallon is 128 ounces, right? So if you do the math on that, 128 divided by 10 is 12 ounces. You know, I mean, to do the math on that's pretty easy. You know, that's 28 gallons. That's time 2 would be 52, 56. So you're drinking a couple of gallons a week. Not even that. I'll tell you an amazing fact here. So last year we made 20 gallons of each beer, putting us 15th in the world. We're getting there. I'm not going to go down to 15th, the top 10, all that shit. I'm going to tell you, we need to step up our game, though, because I'm going to tell you who drinks the most. Have you come out with it yet? Don't know how much they drink, but the Chinese be putting us on the table, people, man. Chinese be drinking. They drink, I have no idea, but they drink a lot. I think it was double our number or something like that. They drink beer. Well, I mean, look how many people there are, right? I mean, they have a lot of drinkers out there. Why wouldn't you want to be? Can you see the people? I mean, you gotta drink. You gotta drink just. Oh, this is gonna sound mean, but you gotta drink them pretty anyway. So it takes a lot of beer. Let's see. Beer in the United States via the Wikipedia's Anheuser-Busch InBev still brews the most beer. Ha ha ha! It's not Miller or Coors. Anheuser-Busch. I don't care about the InBev. It's still Anheuser-Busch. And if you're watching the World Cup on TV, they're hoisting Budweiser. If you watch those guys, the Scots, they're hoisting Budweiser because it's the closest beer they can get. It's got that nice lager taste they're looking for, or they're drinking ultras. They're not drinking, I don't know, Ching Ping, or they're not drinking, Miller Lite. I mean, if I want ice water, I'll go to my faucet. Let's see. Brewing here in this country, United States of America, brewing dates back to 1587. Early beers were basically recipes from England, which makes sense, right? I mean, they drug them over here and brewed their crap. And interesting thing, how do you get your ingredients? Were they exquisite stuff, indigenous to England and that territory, where they would grow it here and then keep making recipes here. And then basically we would eventually go from English ales to American lager. That was a huge big deal, and that's why Budweiser took off, because the lager taste gave you that full flavor, but drinkability. Matter of fact, remember, part of this thing here is the smoothest drinkability you find no other beer at any price. It says it right here on every can and bottle. You can take that shit to the bank. Okay, let's see. Here's why we went from English ales to American lager. This was due to the huge migration of Germans to the United States. There you go. Because where do you think Adolphus Busch came from? Anybody? Anybody remember where Adolphus Busch came from? I think he was one of 15 kids or something like that, but they all came over, man. And you know what he did in the 1800s? Well, so he created a lager everybody has to like, and we do. Pilsners came from Central Europe. How about that? Pilsners came from Central Europe. I found that to be interesting. I'm not a huge Pilsner fan. Miller Lite's a Pilsner. Probably why I don't like light. It's a lighter beer, lighter bodied beer. It's an all day drinker. I mean, if you want to slam beer and be able to fly a rocket in an airplane, that's probably the beer you want to get, Miller Lite. And there's nothing to it. I think 1 can per case has alcohol in it. If you can tell, I'm partisan. Ooh, that's a politic word. I'm biased. Let's see. Let's see here. Wikipedia. Oh my God, I'm losing my thing. Card 3. Hang on. Hang on a minute. It wouldn't be fair if I didn't open up all the cans, right? And we have to drink from all the red, white, and blue. So open one up, go to your fridge and get one of these. Open one up and have one with me right here. Oh, listen to that. Oh my God. Damn, here. It's the white. It's got white, blue, but it's red. It's white. You're next. Let's see. So, have we changed the way we make beer? Not just the style and the creations and the recipes, but we're talking about who makes the beer. Remember, I'm 64. I go back to my childhood. Remember, I'm not sure. I think, gosh, the different beer. There's a handful in the country, right? You had your Canadian beer coming down, the Mooseheads and the that blessed Moosehead and Foster's, which is actually brewed in Canada, not in Australia. Sorry. But look at the companies. We still have Anheuser-Busch, number 1. Number 2 is Pabst Milwaukee. Blatz. Oh gosh. Do you remember the beer that Blatz used to brew? No? Blatz. I'll have to look that up. Schlitz, Miller. Okay, those are your top 5 guys. Those guys make most of the beer. They probably control 89% of the beer that flows into American bars. Okay, and I know I give Miller a shit, but Miller has a pretty cool history. They have a really cool tour, and if you're ever up in the Milwaukee area, I highly recommend you make a trip to Milwaukee and visit the people. They're so good there. I love Brewer Stadium. Never been there. Want to go there one year. The Harley Davidson Museum is there. A lot of history up in there for different things. Really good people. Sat at the bar next to them, and I was wearing a St. Louis hat apparently, obviously, and I'm wearing my little veteran hat today because I'm trying to be all veteran like today. But Milwaukee has a really cool vibe to it. The people are great. The beer is good. We still drank Coors Lights. And there was a tap. We went to a bar there and they had like 20 taps. We'll start with 1 and work our way down. We made like 7 or 8, whatever we had to quit. But the people are good there, and the Miller Brewing Company has a pretty neat little tour they give you. and their history and stuff like that. So it's really cool. I know I give Miller Lite a lot of bunch of shit, but and I will say that the community in Milwaukee up there is fantastic, bar none, man. I mean, I'd rather go to Milwaukee than Chicago. Just a fact. Chicago, I'm not a fan of. Um, I've had a few experiences up there I don't care about. I don't think. I think the people can be dickholes. That's my opinion. So sorry if you're up in Chicago, but I've been there a few times. It's got some pretty cool things about it. I think they get a bad rap because of who runs the place up there and how the money from Chicago gets sucked. Well, for the sake of Chicago. Anyway, that's a long story. Fuck all that. But anyway, so but go to Milwaukee and go to Chicago and see what you like. Chicago's got the best. They have the Hershey's hot chocolate place there. During the wintertime, go and have some. So microbreweries. Microbreweries popped up. We know this in the 80s and mostly in the 90s. One cool thing my sister-in-law, God rest her soul, rest in peace, Jen. One cool thing she did for me years ago, she got me this, I think it was a Christmas gift or a birthday gift. I can't remember what it was. But once a month, I'd get a 12 pack of beer. It's all different. A 6 pack of one, and another 6 pack of something else. It's all microbrew beers from around the nation. And Goose Island, I think that was a big one back then. It probably still is. Just and I would write her back. So I like this one, I like that one. And you would taste them. You would put them in the fridge and try them. And it was really cool because you got to see different flavors and stuff like that. Some of them I just couldn't stomach. And but it was just neat that she did that because instead of drinking the same beer all the time, so let me try this one, and you make notes about it. You kind of compare from one beer to the next, and it started going. Remember Red Dog beer? That was the same time around the '90s. But all these companies started brewing different types of beer because people just wanted something different. I think one of the worst inventions was Leinenkugels. I think it's called Leinenkugels. Oof, that's a the red beers came out, and I didn't care for them that much. But we have microbreweries now dominate where small pubs used to be, and that's so true. You can't go anywhere. I'm in the Phoenix area here. You can't go anywhere in the Phoenix area and not see a brewery. There's I don't know how many breweries. I'm only going to give you a number: 50, 60, probably more, 100, 200. I don't know more. And the vibe in those places is so cool. It's their mash tanks are right there. You can see all the equipment they have, and they're all clean, sterile, and they have good food. And is it pricey? Sure, it is. But everything's fucking expensive, man. I mean, brewing beer isn't cheap, and it's not easy. And but they're doing it. And you can usually find something you like. You say, well, I like Miller Lite, I like Bud Light, I like Budweiser. They'll say, well, try this one here. This one's pretty close. What that is, and then you can depart and try one of their house specialties. That's the cool thing about the microbreweries. I don't go a whole ton. But I will go and I'll try some else's beer, and it's neat. You know, craft beers. Let's go down the list here. American Pale Ales. Those are real popular. IPAs, can't stand them. Sorry, that's a real popular here in the Southwest. Don't know why, but the IPAs here in Phoenix are off the charts, man. They are so popular. I I just can't. There's an aftertaste. I just can't do it. They're definitely not for me. I can have one or two and be fine, but they're not all day drinker. I can't sit there and go. Let me have a 12 pack of IPAs. Oh my good lord. Uh, the I wrote something I can't. India Pale Lager. I've tried one of those. Okay, and Imperial IPAs. Those are all right. I haven't had too many of those. I just don't dive off the IPAs too much. I just yeah. Here's a ism. Just stick with what works. But I will dip my toes in the pool of other beers. Right. So if you think about where we came from back in the 1700s, 1800s, all the way up to now, beers have become take cocktailed. They pair with different foods. People are just trying different things out there, and God love them, man. And there's young people out there right now. They're 20 something, 35 something, and they're trying different beers. And they got these buildings, and they pour their heart and souls into this building, and they put this equipment. And they have beer masters, and they have they're changing this, changing that, and they're doing flavors, and it's great. It's great. I don't know any other country out there that you can sit there and have all this competition making beers. One guy making 40 different flavors. Look at Anheuser Busch; they're doing all kinds of different beers, right? And Miller Lite does the same thing. They all have their deal. I don't know of another nation that allows to have so much competition, so much beer flowing through the taps and to the taverns and the markets and you could go to you can go anywhere from a highfalutin restaurant and have a glass of Chablis or Chardonnay or maybe some Pinot, whatever wine you like, or you can go get yourself a nice Michelob. Remember Michelob beer? That shit's all fucking gone. Hit me up if you find a Michelob bottle. The old brown bottle, remember that son of a bitch couldn't break it off the tree for nothing? But remember the Michelob bottles, you go back and you have this, we've had this thing where just beer, everybody loves beer. If you don't like beer, I don't know. We can talk about that. And don't forget the other big blue thing we have this year, the big blue buzzball. This is trailer park shit. But this is why I have it, because I live in a trailer park or two. Don't fucking judge me. But we live in the greatest country on the planet. We really do. We have you can go to drive-through liquors. How fantastic is that? Hey, I just need a roadie, man. I mean, or whatever, and then pack a zigzag or something like that. Maybe some whatever. But you can access it most places you want to go. And it's just beers everywhere. You can't go to a bar. I don't like anything you have. Oh, fuck, you'll find some kind of beer you're gonna like. Some days you don't want beer. Okay, drink up some gin, maybe some rum, something like that, whatever. But in America, we are free to have whatever beer we want, and no one judges us. I'm not gonna slam you if you like Miller Lite. I'm just fucking around. But if you drink the Budweiser, or you drink the Mick Ultras or the Bud Light, you're probably one of my best friends. But tomorrow is July 4th, 2026. And I remember back when I was, it's going to be 14, we had the bicentennial. And that was pretty cool. I had a big party at my mom's house. My brother, my middle brother, he got wishy-washy, man. I got all fucked up. I got shit hammered. And it was fun. But it was a big deal. We celebrated with proud. I don't know who the president back. It didn't matter. It was my mom didn't like him where it was. Probably Democrat, but she was Republican. But we're gonna get rid of that. But it was really neat back then. It was really neat back then to 1776 to 1976. It was really really cool, right? And man, and here we are now, 250 years. It's a milestone, right? It's great. It's fantastic. We're alive. Doesn't matter what's happening, right? Find a friend, find a parade, find something. Fly a flag. Get one of these. Make sure you fly a flag. Get a flag. Wear a flag. Be a flag. Fucking. Let's just be an American, man. Let's drink some fucking beer. Let's have a good time. Okay? We're all family. We're all in this shit together, man. We all have an oar. We gotta paddle our way up to the life river of shit. So, good times are here. So, interesting. So, in the words of George Washington, we made it through the fucking Delaware. Whiskey for my men and beer for my horses. I think he came up with that. Anyway, I'm getting a little long winded. So, good times. Happy birthday, America. Happy 250th birthday to the best country in the world, the United States of America. This is a cool time to be alive, no matter what we're thinking, what we're doing. This is where you need to be. This is the place to live. This is the place to party, get down, and drink beer. Remember, Beaver loves everybody. No matter where you're at, what you drink, I love you. Be good. Be safe. Be good to one another. I love you. Happy birthday, America. Peace.